Hi, it's Marnie, the Chronic Musician. Join me for a warm-up before I sing. I like to start with figure eights. It releases the AO joint and some of the muscles in the neck. I also find that it helps reduce my vertigo because it keeps everything in the inner ear moving nicely. Do about 8 of these each direction. Ooh, can definitely feel that in my neck today. Now it's true figure eights to the sides. Oh, I can definitely feel that going down into my shoulders. Ooh. My shoulders are rough today, so this one's going to be a rough one. I'm going to put my hand on my head and press down with this hand and just gently tug with this one. While I'm doing all of this, I'm trying to breathe deeply, both to get myself really well oxygenated and obviously to not tense up during stretching, but it also helps me get in the rhythm of using really deep breathing, which I find is really, really good for then when I go to sing and need to breathe deeply. Ooh, this neck does not feel good today. Ooh. I just try and hold it wherever I find that I'm really uncomfortable, just due to tightness into my shoulder. I'm someone that carries a lot of tension in my shoulders, and that's particularly true when I'm in pain, which thankfully, while not literally every second of every day, is definitely worse sometimes than others, and definitely more consistent than for most people due to my chronic conditions. Okay, so my neck isn't feeling terrible. So at this point, I'm just gonna start doing some shoulder rolls. I started at the top and I'm gonna work my way down. I find that back is much more helpful than forward to me because I tend to sit with my shoulders a little bit forward, so I tend to kind of avoid doing forward shoulder rolls. This I find really opens up when I'm doing every other, almost like a backstroke. Really opens up my ribs, which again, very helpful for singing then when I go to actually fully expand my rib cage to sing. At this point, I like to switch more to working on into my hip flexors. So I'm gonna actually bring one leg in, and this is going to hopefully release all the way down. I'm just gonna bend toward one leg with one leg bent in. Ooh, I don't know if you guys heard that, but my back definitely just made a noise. Whew. And I'm just gonna gently pull forward a little bit. Try and increase the stretch. I can feel it into my leg. I'm not super feeling it in my hip flexors right now, but that'll change in a minute. And I just try and hold this until I start feeling it release some. Typically my warm up before singing is just the physical portion. It's about 10 minutes. Ooh, yeah, I'm definitely feeling that. And I can lean forward some or lean back a little until I really feel it in my side, which is that hip flexor that kind of attaches up at the back and then comes around. Whew. Unpleasant, as always. And again, I'm just continuing to breathe. I can also drop this shoulder and put my hand down. That allows me to go a little bit further, but I try not to push it too much because I definitely also have some hypermobility going on. Gonna bend the other leg in. Again, start with the straight. This side feels a little bit better, which is nice. Although I don't feel like I'm going down as far. Even just in this position, I feel my shoulders trying to come up and just trying to get me to wear them as earrings. And I'm gonna reach over, making sure I'm leaning back a little. Ooh. Yep, again, straight up into that side. And here I'm trying to breathe particularly into my hip joints. Just deepen that stretch gently while not asking myself to really overextend. I'm gonna do just a gentle butterfly. And this really, I feel it on the insides of my legs. And again, being careful to not overstretch myself. Whew. Okay. So at this point, I'm a little bit over halfway in. I would probably stay a little bit longer in some of these positions if I was purely warming up for myself. Okay, now I'm just gonna sit and breathe for a sec. Really try and figure out where in my body feels like it needs more. My neck is still definitely not super happy, but I'll probably take some tennis balls and lay on them later, especially just right about where your collarbone is, but in the back and down to the shoulders a little bit. Try and get that released. But right now I'm gonna try, my chiropractor just told me to add this. So I'm up on one leg, my knee is over my foot on the other side, and I'm just gonna lean, can't remember which direction it is. Yeah, this direction. So whichever one is planted, you're gonna lean. You're gonna take that arm and put it up over your head and lean to the other side. And I'm just gonna go until I really feel it. And I can also bring my hips forward a little bit toward my front foot, just to deepen that a little bit. I'm on a camping mat because I find that it's a little bit thicker than a typical yoga mat, which really helps me because of my knees with the rheumatoid arthritis. Although some days when I'm really bad, even this is quite difficult for me to bear. But on those days, I'm typically not stretching anyway, because I would rather be horizontal. Okay. Ooh, definitely am feeling it in there. Okay, so I'm gonna just do a little bit of massage right if I open my jaw. I'm gonna try and find the point right behind my ears or right below my ears where I can feel that moving. I'm just gonna release that gently with my fingertips just going in circles. Ooh, right up by the ear. And I definitely am feeling a decent amount of just gunk releasing down my throat as I'm doing all of this. I find water is really important. Now I'm gonna do right in front of my ears, right where I feel that joint open up when I open my jaw. Yeah, behind the ears, feeling better. Then I also am going to take my thumb and go up under into my tongue. It's where the tongue muscles attach. Oof. And I'm just really getting up right behind the jawbone. And just like that, we're at 10 minutes. So I'm about physically ready. I probably will spend a couple more minutes on something, probably something to do with bending over, doing just, you know, simple bend straight forward, bend to the sides. I find that this also helps release my neck. But first I'm gonna get a drink of water and turn you off. Have a great day.